Hello, everyone. It's Andrew McSorley, your reference and digital liberal arts librarian, and welcome to another edition of Little Bytes. This is a series where we take a look at free, open source tools for you to create digital humanities projects, assignments, and start to develop digital humanities practices for yourself and for your students. Now, most of the software we're going to take a look at in this series are web-based and require no downloads of software at all. And best of all, you don't really need to have any tech or digital humanities experience to use these. These are designed to be starting points, jumping off points for you and your students to create some new projects and engage with new technologies. Today we are going to take a look at Voyant tools. You can find a link to Voyant tools in this live guide, or you can head to voyant-tools, that's voyant-tools.org in order to take a look at this and start to play around with it. So what is Voyant tools and what do we want to do with it? This is a web-based text reading and analysis tool. It is designed to facilitate reading and interpretive practices for digital humanities students, scholars, and the public. So what do we do with this? I recommend this tool if you or your students want to start to engage with computer-assisted analysis. Maybe you've seen some text analysis done within the digital humanities, and you want to get started and see what that might actually look like. This is a great tool to start at level 0 in doing that. This is also a wonderful tool to study texts that you find online, born digital texts or texts that are now open access out of copyright. This is great for complete works of authors such as we'll see, Shakespeare, Jane Austen, those who are well outside of copyright right now. Another way that we can use this is to create visualizations and use those in traditional research essays, to place them into essays that especially your students might be creating on a particular topic. Now, Voyant makes it very easy to load in a text or a corpus. You can simply copy and paste within this search box. You can also upload a file, and I will recommend that if you have the option, you use a rich text file or a simple TXT file as opposed to a doc or a PDF. You can upload those and they will work, but Voyant will have a little bit more trouble accessing those documents than it will a simple rich text file. It's also much easier to clean up an item that you find that you can create in Notepad or in a Word document to take out any unnecessary information that you don't want Voyant to try to analyze. Now, if you want to just get started and jump in without downloading any texts or adding anything into this, and you just want to see what Voyant can do, I recommend going to the existing corpuses, corpi, however you say it. Send me an email, let me know what it's supposed to be. You can choose a corpus that they've already uploaded into their system. Just go to open, use this drop down here, and let's take a look at Shakespeare's plays for now. We can open this up. Now this is going to include all of Shakespeare's plays as far as I understand. And when you first load this up, you'll notice that some visualizations automatically pop onto the screen. In the top middle here, we have the reader, which is going to contain the full text of the corpus as we've loaded it in here. This is really nice because you can hover over any of these words and see how often it appears within the document. And you can click on any of these and it will affect the other visualizations that you have on the screen. So the reader is a very valuable tool. These visualizations appear automatically. So here we have a trends chart for the document terms. Here we have a word cloud that is automatically created for the most common or the most frequently used words within the corpus. So these are very nice visualizations that you can include in any research essay immediately. You can interact with any of these on the terms chart, for example. You can double click on any of these terms to drill down into how they're being used within a particular text. If you want to adjust any of these, say you're not interested in the word cloud, hover in this gray box area here and click on the window panes. This will allow you to choose a different tool, and there are many, many different visualization tools that you can use that are automatically loaded into Voyant. So I recommend to jump into this and start to play with some of these and see maybe some of the interesting ways that these visualizations help you to recast some of these plays or Shakespeare's language. What can we learn about Shakespeare's works by visualizing these terms a little bit differently? For example, we can use a stream graph, and this just gives us a different way to visualize the frequency of the text. You can also come into the borders of the visualizations here, click down on them and hold and drag these to increase the size of the visualization. In some cases, that's going to be necessary, especially when we have so many works. Look at all these documents that we're working with here. You want to get a little bit more size so that you can actually see the trends and start to get a basic analysis here. So this is taking a look at these particular words that are most frequent across these texts. So you can see how they're used. You can see the bumps in where they get used in these particular documents. So you can interact with these visualizations a lot. One of the great things that I love about this is if you have a visualization that you like, it makes a point within some of your research that is really better suited for a visual representation rather than a verbal one. You can export this visualization. So if we again hover in this gray bar, click on this arrow here, we can get a URL for this entire view, which will take this entire screen essentially, and we can upload it into our blogs or into Moodle or whatever we might want to use with it. Or you can click here on export visualization and simply develop a ping image of this one particular visualization that you've created. You can drop that then into anything that would take that type of file. So this is a great type of assignment to do for your students if you just want them to interact with text analysis in a basic way and do one short assignment. Creating a visualization out of a text could be a really cool way to interact with a work in a different way. So that is just a basic rundown of what Voyant can do. There's a lot more that you can do with this, a lot of ideas. We've included some sample assignments from other universities and an assignment that I created for a university course around this that you can take a look at in the live guide. And as always, if you have questions or you want to learn more about what you can do with this or how to integrate it into your classes, talk to any of your librarians. Send me an email, and in these distant times, this may be the best time to start to interact with digital humanities and see what's out there in the world of the internet that we can use to create some new ideas and some new ways of looking at texts. So hopefully this piques your interest and gives you some ideas. Hopefully you have time to jump into this and play around with it and see what you can create. Thank you for sticking around and listening to this. Again, if you have any questions, just let me know. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you all soon.